Let's see. Oh, we're live. Hey. Well, happy birthday to us.
Yes.
It has been 15 years.
15. So exciting.
That's counting from 2009 when the whole thing started.
When we're all beginning.
When
from
I went
the very
into
beginning.
the attorney's office and signed the paper.
Yeah. Today, 15 years today.
15 years ago. So by then, I'd already had, because my, you might say what I was starting to learn about the mandalas started in January of that year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, so I was learning about mandalas, and I was learning about, because one of my biggest concerns was how gemstone therapy could be used for the masses, because gems are expensive. You know, they just are. They're rare. They're medicinal, but they're rare. Not everybody can have them, but the sprays allow them to be much more universally useful. So the device was built in March or April, started running them, had Ryan, my husband's son, made the labels.
The first mandala.
The first mandala was energy clearing.
Yep.
The first one.
Yeah.
And we got that going.
Still our bestseller today.
Still our bestseller because it works.
Yeah.
And second one was the EMR clearing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think we did diamond right away. We did.
I think diamond was just before I came. No, was it just before or was it after? No, I think it was just before I came on.
Yeah. So we were working with the sprays. I was selling sprays from my house, from the dining room. And then, so that was summer of 2009, 2010. Well, in 2009, I was really struggling with, should I just stay with sprays or should I get into the gemstones? Because my customers were saying, well, give us more about the gemstones. And then I'm talking about this with my husband, and he finally says, we're at the sink. We're doing dishes together. He said, Isa, because he was tired of me yakking away about this. If they want gemstones, why don't you just give them gemstones? That changed everything.
Yeah, it changed a lot of things.
Changed a lot. So ruby onyx, or onyx with ruby, was the first one.
Yeah. And sometime right after that, you hired Bill.
Right, and the whole idea of symbiotics. And yeah, I remember Brian came on. He was coming to the house. He was helping with the orders and everything. He was helping with everything.
Yeah.
And I remember we needed help, and then we sold a necklace, and I think you know who it was who bought it. If you bought it, I think you know who you are. And it was like, Bill, we need help. We can afford you now.
Yeah.
And so Bill came on, and then when were you hired? Was that 2011?
11, I think.
2000.
I think it was 11.
That was
it was in January, so it was actually a jury duty when you called me. But yeah, it was in January of 2011, and I just ran over right after jury duty, and the timing was perfect. And I mean, it's funny though, because one of the questions you guys asked me is like, well, how's your eyesight? And at the time I had perfect eyesight, but now I'm getting old. 15 years later, I have all the time glasses. But it's funny because that was one of the first questions, not knowing that I would end up being the one to help pick out the gemstones and find them and work with the diamonds. And so back then, apparently asking me about my eyesight was kind of a big thing.
Big deal.
Now here we are. Yeah.
It was so cute because her daughter and my daughter were in the same class. They were best friends. And her son and my daughter were kind of
they were
dating-ish.
Well, you know what? To them, they were dating. But in hindsight, they were 15 and 16. So they weren't really doing a whole lot. But saying that they were dating. So yeah, but they were at the time. And
yeah, like two planets kind of were rotating around the sun, just not sure if they were going to connect.
Yeah. That's true.
That was very cute.
It was. It was very cute. And now they're all grown up. 15 years later. 15. That's a big number.
Your son's married.
Yeah.
Happily married.
Yeah. And the girls are all off doing their education stuff and
Yeah,
finishing up like
advanced.
master's things and traveling the world, and
Yeah.
unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then my little guys, my youngest, whole reason I could even go to work was because my youngest was finally in kindergarten, and now he's 18. And he's 18 and he's going off to
Florida.
19, 18, somewhere around there. But he's moving to Florida on Tuesday. So 15 years later, like when you think about that in terms of how grand that is, it doesn't seem like it was that long.
Yeah.
But when you look back and you remember all the little things, you know, like the skunk that was on your back step and the boys were stuck outside and they couldn't come back in because there was a skunk blocking the door. Only things that happen when your office is in your house, because that's the beginnings.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when we call them the boys, that was Ryan and
Yeah,
Bill,
the boys.
they went into our driveway trying to ignite the spray to see if it could be flammable and a hazardous material, because we dilute it with substantial amount of water. So there's 20% alcohol in the spray. But we wanted to, just for safety, we wanted to find out if it was flammable. And nope.
No.
But that was fun.
Yeah. I always send you the pictures of like the memory pictures from when we'd go to Maine. And at the very beginning, we used to go to Maine once a year to, high level thinking. We wanted high level thinking.
Little company retreat.
Yeah. Yeah. And the boys would go out and they'd make the little rock cairns. And one year there was an earthquake. So we called it our earthquake monitor because it knocked over the cairn in the middle of the night. And it was just crazy because it comes up now in my memories. And you know, again, so long ago.
Yeah.
So long ago.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Gosh. So, yeah, Karie-anne came on board, and then
we had Lauren.
Your son worked for us for a little while too.
Yeah, but that was not in the house.
on?
Well,
It was in the house.
it was in the house actually. Yeah, it was
Lauren,
in the house.
right. Lauren helped us out.
Yeah, Lauren helped us out in the house. She was in the house.
Right.
And you're right. Nicholas did help for a little while in the house too. Because I remember we invited him to the Christmas party, that first Christmas party.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, I have a company party." But yeah. And then Lauren, and we had Sarah, and we had Brianna, and
Well, Brianna wasn't until we moved.
Yeah, but I'm like trying to go down the line of all the people that I remember taking that position. Yeah. And then we moved to the middle office. It wasn't we call it the old office, when actually the old office was your house.
Well,
but we had an old office for a while,
and
we outgrew it. We never thought we'd outgrow that so fast.
I know.
And we did.
Well, the house. So I had my office, which was the dining room. Karie-anne sat at
the kitchen
table. Bill had his
he
office.
started across the way from me at the kitchen table.
That's
we were
right.
opposite each other.
Right.
And we ran out of room.
He started at the kitchen table.
Yeah.
And then he moved into the living room.
Yep.
And then you're on one side of the table.
And then Lauren was on the other side of the table.
And I remember your son was standing at the counter.
Yeah, because he was helping
with the labels and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then when Joe came to help with the bookkeeping, he took my office.
Yeah.
And I went up into my bedroom.
Yep. Yeah.
And then Ryan worked in Bob's man cave.
Yep. Yeah.
This is a little cave, right?
Ryan was in the living room on the couch for a while.
I
remember he was on the couch for a little while, but it was impractical. Ryan, there was just so little room that Ryan used to have to carry his big laptop, the big computer screen.
The iMac.
He would pack it up and bring it home, and then pack it up and bring it to the office every single day. And every single day he left his coffee on the top of his car. It was like this running joke, because we could see it from where I was sitting. I could see his car had a coffee on it, and
the car driving away.
Yeah. From where I was sitting, I could see the bird feeder. Bob would always stock the bird feeder, and we'd have squirrels, and it would be he had this big battle with the squirrels to stay out of my bird feeder, and we'd watch them on the spinning bottles on the clothesline.
Right.
Too funny.
That was funny.
Yeah.
And okay, so we have this table, not enough room, and our floor was a wood floor, and you're going to drop beads, right? And because it was a wood floor, they would bounce. And we have this radiator.
Yeah.
This one of those long radiators. We go under the radiator, and then we would keep this little jar about that big
Yep.
of beads that we would find on the floor,
Yeah.
just for fun, because the effort it would take to find where it belongs and put back one little bead.
One
So we
little
just
bead.
collect them in that little jar.
And the hardwood floors ended just under the baseboard. So it wasn't just that you could go under the baseboard and grab it, because it would just fall into this little dip, and there was just no shot. Like there was no shot.
I'm not putting my fingers under there.
And then where did we put all the broken beads?
In the garden.
In the garden. We tossed them in the garden.
Toss them in the garden.
Yep.
Yeah.
Send them back to the earth.
Right.
So you have a very, very expensive garden. There's rubies and emeralds.
But they're broken.
They're broken. Yeah, they're broken. But it is kind of fun to know that they're there.
Fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. It was some sort of satisfaction of tossing them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's true. That is true.
And then one day, was it, I guess, Bob, our dentist, had a spare office that he wasn't using. And so, oh my gosh, we can expand into that. And so we did.
Yep.
So I had my own office.
I had my own office.
You had your own office. Bill had his own. I mean, these are little like dental exam room offices.
Yep.
And then Ryan and Jocelyn shared a room.
Well, no, Jocelyn wasn't there yet.
She wasn't there yet.
She wasn't there yet. So it was Ryan had the room, and he was going to split it. I don't remember what we had. I think it was just because we bought 2 desks. I really think it was just because we bought 2 desks. But then he ended up working from home a lot more than he was in the office, because it was just too much to keep carrying the computer back and forth. And then we had customer service who moved into, they would be the one to answer the phones and they'll package up the things and package up the packages. And that was where, at the time, it was started with Lauren, and then it went to Sarah. Not the Sarah we had recently, but another one. And and then, but we outgrew it. We were so tight in that place that we had boxes piling up in the hallway, and it was a fire safety. So we really had to get out of there. Like it was too much. Like we went from bottling 1 bottle at a time, or maybe 5 if we had a lot of orders, to bottling 100 at a time, which was such a huge shift. And I used to say, if we bottled it, they will sell. And we did. Things just started to grow and grow and grow, and eventually we outgrew our shell. We needed a bigger shell.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, little intermission here. If you are watching, we're going to give you free shipping today only if you use the code 15 years at checkout. So free domestic shipping. So hope you're watching. Hope you can take advantage of that.
Yeah, because you know what? It's a special day, and through COVID, I mean, they stuck by us, and we stuck by them. I think about the amount of people that we helped through such a tumultuous time in everyone's lives, and the support that we gave and they gave us. Like it was this mutual symbiotic thing. To survive 15 years is hard for a lot of companies, especially after that. And to be so grateful and sitting here excited is just such a gift. And you know what? So 15 years, take advantage of that free shipping.
And then Lauren, she went off to college, didn't she?
No. So Lauren joined the military.
She joined the military.
She wanted to, she was studying, something to do with being deaf, languages, but she was learning sign language, and she ended up becoming some kind of an interpreter for the military. So she comes back to visit sometimes.
I know.
And then after her, we had Sarah.
Different Sarah.
A different Sarah. Yeah, she was sweet. She was with us for I think like 1.5 years, 2 years.
Yeah.
And then Brianna.
Right. And Sarah left to pursue her music career.
Yes, absolutely. That's right. I forgot about that.
And, what's that town?
Oh, Nashville?
Nashville.
Yeah, Nashville.
That town.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, she
music
had that
town.
opportunity. That's right. I totally forgot about that.
She was a songwriter.
Yeah. And then, and then we had, then Max came and worked with us for a while. And, but that was about right when we were outgrowing things. Things were getting crazy in that space. And, but And then we were looking at this building for a long time because they weren't quite ready to move out of here. We weren't quite ready to move in. It was a big step.
And one of the best advice I ever got was, well, stay where you're at until it's too painful to move, and then stay some more. And that's what we did.
That's what we did.
That's what we did.
Yeah.
Just
I remember having just all the boxes just stacked up in the hallway right outside my door, and having to move bookcases outside the door to be able to keep track of things. And yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah. So now we're here. We should be here
For a while.
For a while.
We haven't outgrown it yet.
A lot of extra space.
We still have space that we have to figure out how we're going to work with. So that's exciting. That's good. And we have a beautiful production room. So no matter where we go, that will be difficult to leave because it's just set up so perfectly.
Have a room that we designed and rebuilt just for making sprays.
Yeah. And it's perfect. And it's, it's more than one person could work there. So that's nice. There's enough counter space for that. And so that's a good space. And our vault is, we've had to add shelves and stuff to that because that was getting a little crazy. But when we first started, we had like just these small little cabinet bins with these little tiny drawers.
Yes,
it was like a card catalog.
They were little cassette drawers.
Is that what they were? Because
Yeah.
it reminded me of like a
Cassette
card
boxes.
catalog.
Yeah.
And they were these small little tiny drawers.
Or actually floppy disks.
A floppy disk? I don't know. I just remember that there was
DVDs
like
or
there was
something.
like 30 little drawers in this one cabinet. We had two cabinets.
That was after.
Oh yeah.
Right.
We had these things, and each drawer had its own like little necklace or its little gem, and that's how we'd have like one option.
It was like an apothecary.
Yeah.
Where it was yay high, and it had all these little drawers all along. We had two. We had one. We had two.
Yeah, because we had one for raw material and we had one for finished goods. But then that got outgrown pretty quickly, and it was funny because we went from that to a file cabinet. We were keeping all the gems were being kept in individual files in the file cabinet. We're like, oh, this is going to hold us over for a while.
No.
Then we needed a vault. So then we ended up with converting a room into a vault in the second office. And now we have a vault, which is beautiful and plenty of room. And so, but even that, we keep having to buy shelves for.
Yeah, we specially constructed that extra plywood, extra layers
everything and security and So when people call me in the concierge and they're like, "Oh," and you're like, "What do you have to go?" I was like, "I have to go down to the vault." There really is a vault. There really is a vault.
Yeah. So that concierge thing is something that you developed when we got here, wasn't it?
I actually started it back at the other office for certain people. They would ask me. I was born as a natural intuitive, so I was able to kind of help key into certain things and figured out that I make a really good satellite dish. And so, so I started to kind of help with that and for a couple necklaces here and there for certain people because they really struggled with selecting things. And so I would help them with that. And then when we started up the diamond program and you asked me to take over selling the diamonds, I had to find a way to use whatever gifts I could use to be able to help them connect with the stones because it was a big trust factor. They had to trust us. And integrity is a really important thing to me. So, especially me personally too. So I wanted to make sure that whatever it is I did to try and sell these diamonds, I was doing it in a way that they could trust that they were genuinely feeling what they were feeling. And it wasn't me trying to upsell them or sell them something that was out of their budget or anything like that. And so I kind of took what I was doing with some of these necklaces and transposed it into the diamond program. And then when a lot of people started buying diamonds, they started to recognize that, hey, can you do what you did with the diamond for a necklace? And so where it started with necklaces and then ended up in diamonds, and now I do both. So, and the process is a little bit different, but it's also very similar.
Yeah. So how is your concierge service unique?
My concierge service is unique to the fact that, without sounding weird, why I act like a big satellite dish.
It's okay to be weird.
I know. I know.
We
I'm
embrace
embracing
weird.
this.
Yes. We're all a little weird.
Yes. So, but what it is that I do is I kind of act like a big satellite dish, and I'll coil a necklace or a diamond, and it's almost always in my left hand. I'm not sure why it's my left hand. I just feel more comfortable doing it in my left hand. And what I do is I kind of block my own energy field and make sure that I'm not interfering with anything, because I'm human. And once I'm there, I'll say, okay. And I literally just focus on the piece that's in my hand and allowing that piece to just expand and grow in its size. So I kind of feel like I'm expanding myself as a satellite dish. I kind of envision that. And then people, they receive the energy on their end. They don't have to reach out to me or anything like that. It's not something that they have to do. It literally just comes to them. And I'm focused on them, and I'm focused on them receiving this, and I'm focused on me being bigger and allowing that field to get bigger. And then, but another part of my gift is that I can feel how they react to it. So, and I wish I could say that, oh, you can stop yourself from doing that. I'm 53, haven't figured that out yet. So, call it an empath or call it, some people call it different things, but I can feel how a person reacts to it. So I don't usually offer that information unless they ask me to. But in a lot of cases, they'll be like, well, what are you getting off of me? And I'll explain that, and it validates what they're feeling. And so, and sometimes it comes in forms of pictures, and sometimes it comes in forms of sounds or feelings. Sometimes,
so you're not just reading about the gems. You're not just telling them about the gems.
No,
you're letting them feel the gems.
I'm letting them feel the gems because
Right.
I don't know the reason why they need it. Like that's a big part of this. We'll have people, when I do expos and whatnot, I'll have somebody come up to me and say, oh, why am I single? I want something to help me not be single. And I'm like, well, I don't know why you're single. There could be anything. Like it could be that you're antisocial. It could be that you talk too much. It could be that you don't talk at all. It could be that you don't put yourself out there.
Right.
It could be that you haven't showered that day. Like I honestly don't know. And what the gemstones do is the gemstones will connect with the part of that person that they need without me knowing why they need it. And so what they're feeling and where they're feeling it and how they experience it is their experience. It has nothing to do with me. So no, I'm not telling them about the stones. I'm not telling them what they need. It's not my territory, they need to figure out why they need certain things. I will help them along and say, if I'm working with somebody and I'm working with an emotional piece and all of a sudden I see the color green instead of pink, I'll be like, well, maybe you might want to try, rising light because it's green, like that's as deep as I get because I'm not that good. But that's what sets this concierge apart from some other things, because I'm not going to just read from you a script. One thing, I'm not trained as a practitioner. I've done that intentionally. She's asked me many times to take the classes. But I don't want to be book smart for my own intuitive thing, because I want to be honest. I don't want to say, well, based on what you say, you should do this. I don't want that.
It keeps your talents
raw,
what they are.
Yeah. It keeps me honest, and it keeps it fluid. And it's very possible that you could be missing something or a reason why you're feeling the way you're feeling, and, for me, for example, I have been dealing with this leg thing. Right. And so I went to the doctor, and the doctor told me that it was a Baker cyst and I couldn't walk, and I've been struggling. Well, lo and behold, it was Lyme disease. It wasn't a Baker cyst. I don't know the reason why I wasn't walking. Like the gems will do that for you. The gemstones will key into where you need to be. And I just trust that. I trust that, especially with diamond. I have this love relationship with the diamonds because I've just seen them change people's lives. And I've seen gemstones make people feel better. And I've seen them encourage them and be positive and help them transition through things. Like I've seen the gemstones do some amazing things, but I've seen diamonds change people's lives. And so I have this real deep affection for what diamond energy can do.
Yeah. Yeah. When did we start diamonds?
Back at the old office.
Yeah.
It was like, I want to say it was maybe 2015.
That's right. We
14?
had the very first
It was like 14
event in Norfolk.
Yep.
Connecticut,
Yeah.
Norwalk.
Norwalk.
Nor-
No, Norfolk. It was in
Norfolk,
Norfolk.
Connecticut.
Yeah, it was in Norfolk.
and
Yeah.
Of course, it snowed.
Yep, snowstorm. That's fun. Diamond always throws us speed bumps. Every time we try to buy them, every time we try to sell them, there is always
Workshops. There's always
workshops.
something.
There's always a speed bump.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was usually the weather at first, or it was internet connection.
Yes,
or-
yes. So,
That was funny.
well, we're getting a time.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because I talk
It's
a lot.
time. It's time. Oh my gosh. Yes. All right. So once more, if you're watching now, you have domestic free shipping if you use the code 15 years at checkout. So
Just today, because today's just our anniversary today.
just our anniversary.
Yeah,
And
we're only 15 years. No big
we're
deal.
only.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
It's a very big deal. And we're so happy that you guys came. And I see so many people watching us, and that just,
Mhm.
I love that. I love that. And I know I've talked to a lot of you on the phone, and this is what I look like. You know, you see her all the time. And I do talk a lot.
She's entertaining.
Comic relief.
We could go down that rabbit hole too.
That's
one
a
day.
big rabbit hole. She keeps me around for the laughter.
Okay, well, maybe another day.
Another day. Another day.
All right, everyone. Well, have a wonderful day, and I wish you all the best on your healing journeys. We'll see you again next time.
Happy 15 years. Thank
Happy
you.
15 years.
Thank you.